creating an ecosystem and a landscape where people can think about new ideas and be innovative to start a business, scale a business right here in your home is incredible.
You need to have that drive and passion to overcome it and face it. If you believe in what you want to do, you just got to push.
Thank you, Will. Personal fan club over here. Thank you, Mr. Boudreau. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2025 NSpire Startup Slam. Thank you for making a point to spend your evening with us. We're so excited about tonight. I'd like to take the opportunity, though, before we get started, to just say thank you and hello to a couple of folks. We would be remiss if we didn't say thank you to Parish President Robbie Miller. I know he's here, and the First Lady is one of our judges tonight. Mr. President, thank you. He was one of our inaugural judges last year. Their son Charles is with him. We love being in your parish. Thank you for being such an incredible partner. We also have with us this evening the incoming mayor of Slidell, Louisiana, Bill Borchert, and his wife Laura. Mayor, where are you? Congratulations. We also have Caroline. Where's Caroline with Senator Kennedy's office? I was told that she was here. Caroline, thank you. And tell the senator we appreciate it. Well, this truly is a one-of-a-kind premier pitch competition. In fact, it's the largest prize competition in Southeast Louisiana, and we are proud to bring this to the North Shore. You know, this really represents for us an opportunity in economic development to say, you know what? Economic development's not a one-size-fits-all. And it's certainly not a one-trick pony. And us in economic development, we say this all the time. We believe multiple legs of this stool. And we certainly believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in the innovators and job creators because they truly are the heart of our economy. In fact, every strong economy is fueled by strong entrepreneurs. And we believe that the Startup North Shore program helps to do that. Really helps to bolster the entrepreneurship ecosystem on the North Shore. When we launched this 3 years ago, we knew that we had some opportunities, but we also knew we couldn't do it alone, that we had to do it with incredible partners. And we believed that we should do this through economic development. And that's exactly what we did. So we stepped out and said, look, we're going to launch this 3-year, 3-parish pilot program to build the entrepreneur ecosystem on the North Shore. To say, yes, as a part of the entrepreneurship effort through economic development, we can really create the support system, the environment for people who want to dream big and create the culture to not only dream big, but to get our communities and our leaders to be active in pursuing that dream. So if you've got ideas and you want to start a business, inspire others to start businesses, that you can do that right here on the North Shore. And then by doing that, we believe strongly with economic development that it attracts more investment into the region. And we're so excited about what we're doing through the Startup North Shore program. But when I tell you we can't do it through partners, I really mean that. And in fact, when we had this crazy idea and we jumped out there, my first call was to this lady right here. I said, Ginger, we've got this idea. We believe that entrepreneurship can be a cornerstone of our economic development strategy for the 3 parishes on the North Shore. And she didn't hesitate. In fact, she jumped in with the support of the parish president, and they are helping to really bolster this program in some unique ways. And I'm proud to be here tonight and on this stage with Ginger Cangelosi, Executive Director of Tangipahoa Economic Development and Economic Development Foundation. Ginger, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. If never before tonight you never thought about starting a small business, this man will talk you into it. Everyone will be an entrepreneur before they leave here tonight. No, thank you, Chris. Thank you. And good evening, guests. Welcome to Tangipahoa Parish. We are so happy to have you here in downtown Hammond, America. Tangipahoa Economic Development is proud to partner with our economic development partners in St. Tammany and Washington to cultivate entrepreneurship and business formation across the North Shore. That's our goal, that's our mission. This event is a cornerstone program for our community, highlighting the spirit of innovation and economic growth that Startup North Shore brings to our region. The NSpire Startup Slam is here to ignite new opportunities, enrich business landscape, and strengthen the North Shore's position as an entrepreneurial hub. That's what we want to do. The innovation and creativity of our regional community is on full display tonight. And we are proud to have with us our own champion of economic development, talent retention, and economic prosperity. With us tonight, please join me in welcoming Dr. William Wainwright, President of Southeastern Louisiana University.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to downtown Hammond, what we affectionately call Hammond, America, and Southeastern Louisiana University, and of course, our historic, beautiful Columbia Theater. And we are honored to host the 2025 NSpire Startup Slam presented by Startup North Shore. Startup North Shore exemplifies the importance of regionalism through its three-parish footprint, partnership with the Idea Village, through their hub and spoke model, and direct business technical assistance provided throughout Tangipahoa, St. Tammany, and Washington parishes. Tonight's event, the 2025 NSpire Startup Slam, is a celebration of innovation and a showcase of talent. The three finalists that will pitch their businesses right on this stage demonstrate the creativity, curiosity, problem-solving, and solutions-oriented focus of the entrepreneurs in our region, and we couldn't be more proud of each and every one of them. I'm excited to learn more about each of them and their businesses and wish them continued success as they scale their businesses right here throughout the North Shore region. For our attendees here with us tonight, to those of you who are streaming this event live from your homes, thank you for being here. Your support of entrepreneurship, innovation, and creativity will continue to propel the creative efforts of Startup North Shore and be an example to those in our regional community that you can get there from right here on the North Shore. As we gather tonight in the historic Columbia Theater, I want to take a moment to reflect on another momentous milestone, the centennial of our beloved Southeastern Louisiana University. For 100 years, Southeastern has been a cornerstone of education, innovation, and community impact in our region. From its humble beginnings in 1925 as Hammond Junior College to becoming the vibrant institution it is today, Southeastern has shaped generations of leaders and innovators, many here in this room tonight. The centennial celebration, spanning from September of 2024 to December of 2025, will honor the university's rich history while looking forward to an even brighter future. It is a time to celebrate Southeastern's transformation, a transformative legacy, the countless lives it has touched, including many here, as I mentioned, in this room. Looking at our data recently, in 99 years as our December commencement, we have awarded 97,000 college degrees. Imagine that impact in each one of our communities, our local, regional economy, and the economy of Southeast Louisiana. As a special bonus, tonight's event takes place in the historic Columbia Theater, built in 1928. The same year, Hammond Junior College became Southeastern Louisiana College. Southeastern is proud to own and operate this cherished landmark. As a proud part of this historic milestone, the Columbia Theater serves as a shining example of Southeastern's ongoing commitment to arts, education, and our community. While you're here in beautiful downtown Hammond, I encourage you to make a night of it. Take a stroll, enjoy a coffee at Luma after, explore painting with a twist, relax at Red, White, and Brew, or savor the fine dining at China. Immerse yourself in the charm of our community as you witness three exceptional startups take the stage, ready to inspire each and every one of you with groundbreaking ideas. It's now my honor to turn the podium back over to an incredible leader, supporter of our community, Ms. Ginger Cangelosi. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It is my pleasure and my honor to introduce our fantastic judges panel this evening. And thank you, Dr. Wainwright, for your comments. Tonight, we have a group of folks that have volunteered to judge this competition tonight, all of whom are deeply committed to advancing entrepreneurship, harnessing innovation, and celebrating talent right here in Southeast Louisiana. First, help me welcome Ms. Caitlin Hunter, Corporate Affairs Representative with Chevron. Also with us tonight is Karen W., Head U.S. Corporate Banking and Market President, Capital One. Next, help me welcome Kwamena Idu, Managing Partner of Corridor Ventures. Also with us tonight is Mr. Will Boudreau, Founder and Board Chair of NetChecks. Next, our lovely, beautiful First Lady of Tangipahoa Parish, Donna Miller, who also happens to be a franchise owner and operator of 4, soon to be 6 PJ's locations. Ms. Donna. I may have given away a secret there, but I had permission. And lastly, Ms. Anna DeTige, Director of Innovation Capital with Louisiana Economic Development. Thank you all. We appreciate your time and your commitment. Chris?
Thank you, Ginger. Let's give the judges another round of applause. And I'll tell you why. Part of the secret sauce of this program is really building the expertise, the knowledge base, just having the access to people that are in this space every day, that love it. And the North Shore has a track record of legacy entrepreneurs, and some of those are our judges tonight, and we're so proud of that legacy of entrepreneurship here on the North Shore. I also want to take the opportunity as we get started tonight to say thank you to the people who helped really make this happen. I want to start with our economic development partners. Ginger had already mentioned it, but I want to say thank you again to the Tangipahoa Economic Development, Washington Parish Economic Development, and the Board of Commissioners for their St. Tammany Corporation. Also, that helped really fuel tonight are certainly Chevron. This event would not be possible without the generosity and the partnership that we've had now for 2 years with Chevron. So, Caitlin, thank you for that continued commitment. And a new partner with us tonight that really is powering part of the prize competition, and that's Capital One. They have been such an amazing new partner. We're so appreciative of that. Your commitment to entrepreneurs and small businesses is truly impressive, and we appreciate that a great deal. Clico Power is another incredible partner for this evening. The North Shore Community Foundation, Hancock Whitney, North Shore Media Group, you all continue to step up every year in the way that you help this community and you support business owners. We say thank you for that, and we really appreciate North Shore Media Group for being willing to do that. Okay, now, with that, I believe we're going to get this thing started. And as I do that, I want you all to join me in bringing to the stage Chinso Corona. Now, as he comes up, I want to talk to you about Chinso for just real quickly. You know, when we launched this program 3 years ago, we got together and said, look, we got to get out of our own way. We love entrepreneurship. We want to support entrepreneurs. We want it to be a part of economic development, but we really need to find an entrepreneur, somebody that knows the ups and downs and the challenges of every stage of starting a business, growing a business, scaling that business, and all the things that you have to deal with as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. And we really worked hard trying to identify that. For several weeks. And then lo and behold, who knew that we had a young man and his wife who had just moved back to the North Shore. He graduated from LSU as an engineer. He left, and then he wanted to come back home. And he wanted to start a business, a dream that he had. And he went through the Idea Village Institute program. And when John said, look, I think I got the guy for you, and he's actually from St. Tammany. I'm like, what? So we connected, and immediately, 5 minutes into the conversation, you're our guy. You've got to do this. He's got the skills, the energy, the creativity, and the technical understanding to really build this program. And he's really become the face of our entrepreneurship ecosystem building program here on the North Shore. And we're really proud. And in fact, we're so proud that, you know, this is a big deal for us in economic development around the state and the Gulf Coast region. We're the only entrepreneurship program in the state that is supported with a full-time position that we refer to as an entrepreneur in resident. And that's because of the partnerships that we have in economic development and our supporters, that we're able to dedicate resources to have a full-time person, not just managing the program, but actually with the technical understanding to really develop that program and to scale that program ourselves, to be entrepreneur in how we run this program. And we have that with Chinzo Corona. And we actually have added a little bit of capacity with that, and I'm going to let Chinzo introduce somebody that we brought on to help do that. So with that, Chinzo Corona, come out here and let's get started this evening.
Good job.
All right, I've got the clicker now, so I'm in control. All right, welcome everybody to the 2025 NSpire Startup Slam. I am your MC for the evening. As Chris mentioned, my name is Chinzo Corona, and I'm the entrepreneur in residence and program manager for Startup North Shore, and we're super excited to bring you the second annual NSpire Startup Slam. This is one of the largest prize package pitch competitions you're going to see in the entire Gulf South region. It's incredible. This prize package tonight, as Chris mentioned, incorporates $50,000 in cash funding. I want you to note that is a grant. That's not a loan. This bank or whoever wins this competition isn't going into debt over this. They don't have to give up any equity in their company. It's just cold hard cash. And the winner tonight will get $40,000, and both of our other finalists will each get $5,000 as well. But it's very important that we also note that we have in-kind services tied to this prize package as well. We don't want to just give you a bunch of cash and leave you out in the dust and go and spend it. We want to ensure that every single dollar that you spend from this prize package has the highest return on investment that you can possibly have. And we pair that $50,000 with in-kind services valued at over $65,000. These are things like legal, accounting, marketing, business consulting, print services, co-working space memberships. You name it, all of it is designed so that when you get that $50,000, you get that $40,000 check, every single cent of it has the highest return so you can scale and grow as fast as you possibly can from right here on the North Shore. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of the other things that we provide here at Startup North Shore. This is about building an ecosystem, not just a program of work. It's very important that we connect all of these resources into a place where it's accessible and tangible for our local businesses. And founders, you'll note, we want to surround them with these 5 pillars to prop them up. They're at the center of everything that we do. Every decision that we make, every program we design, every event we run, every mentor that we recruit to work with businesses is all curated to have the best impact for every single founder, whether you're just in an idea or whether you're looking to sell your business. These are the ideas and talent that are right here in our backyard, and it's on us to invest in them so that they can be successful, because we all know that our local businesses drive our economy, but they don't just drive our economy, they're our neighbors. They create this beautiful community that we are all fortunate to live in, and that's why we do this work. So when you look at this ecosystem, support is very critical. This is mentorship. This is where we connect business owners with mentors who've been there, done that. They can help them peek around the corner. They can give them life lessons. They can keep them from having those big failures and the pitfalls that they might see on the other side. Next, go back to this slide real quick. Learning, so education. We want to empower our entrepreneurs to be educated, give them curriculum, run workshops, and host events where we can educate all of our businesses on those core foundations of what it takes to get started, what it takes to grow, what it takes to scale, what it takes to hire, and what it takes to ultimately exit their business. Placemaking, you might think, is an interesting term, but the main thing that we want to convey here is we want to get people doing this together in the same places. We want to get creative, doers, energetic, excited folks who have a passion for this business. Let's get them connected and doing this in the same spaces so that they can learn from one another, they can feed off of each other's energy, they can really identify with the person next to them that's really having these challenges at the same time. I'm going to skip funding for a second because that ties into tonight. But networking is also critical. Of course, you get to meet peers that are going through these challenges with you. You get to meet other service providers that might have skill sets that you don't have. They can balance yours. You can learn from one another. It's super critical that while you're here tonight, while we spent an hour and a half in there enjoying some beautiful live music, it's important that you're brushing shoulders with each other, getting to know one another, and hopefully creating mentorships, creating investment opportunities, creating founder relationships. You name it, it opens doors. Funding is critical. We spend a tremendous amount of time focused on providing mentorship and resources, connections, and education and opportunities for our founders. But we know that's just not good enough. You have to have critical capital when you need it to launch and scale, and it's important to connect to the right types of capital as well. We connect entrepreneurs with lenders. We have great relationships with all of our local banks, Capital One included, Hancock Whitney, one of our core sponsors. Investment. So if you want to go the route of giving up equity for your company, you're going to grow faster, we can connect you to angel investment groups and private investors to get you that investment capital so you can grow really, really rapidly. But also we wanted to get creative, and that's what this event is tonight. We want to put people in a place on stage giving a live Shark Tank style pitch to our panel of judges competing for one of the largest prize packages in the entire Gulf South region. One thing before I kick off the pitch competition is I'm tremendously excited because we spent a lot of this work doing it in person, but that's not always accessible to everyone, and we can't be everywhere at all times and in all places. And over the last 2 years, since we got started, we've been building out our website, startupnorthshore.com, to try and deliver this digital resource toolkit to our local entrepreneurs so they have something at their fingertips, so they can get started. They have somewhere to go to find resources, to find content, to understand how do I get started? What does idea validation look like? How do I find my first customer? All of these things that they don't even know that they need to be solving, and they don't know the questions that they need to be asking of themselves at a particular time. I'm proud to announce that we've completely redesigned and revamped our entire website. Debuting right now, nobody, unless you accidentally went to this website before you came, has seen this. We just launched this today. It shows the entire journey roadmap for an entrepreneur. So if you've got an idea on a napkin, you can take that thing, you can go to our website, you can find a full rundown for every stage, find resources to guide you from idea to starting your business, to growing your business, and exiting your business. And it's not just about the content that's on there, which is great. We've got many articles, we've got links to resources, we've got videos, we've got actionable worksheets, we've got templates you can build from, everything you need at your hands. But it's, again, the thing that makes real difference for entrepreneurs isn't just curriculum, it's connection. And so all throughout our website, you're going to find intricately placed points where it's critical that you tap into this incredible community that we have across the state of Louisiana to get connected to this thriving startup hub, whether it's through programs, whether it's finding access to space, whether it's finding access to capital, whether it's connecting with our partners at the Idea Village, at the Small Business Development Center, and all of our other critical resource providers that help us power this incredible Southeast Louisiana and Louisiana statewide region to get you from just an idea to an incredible business so you can live out your dream, live out your passion, and do it all right here. And Chris had mentioned we did bring on a second teammate with Startup North Shore. He was really, really instrumental in helping us launch this website on time today. I want to recognize Levi Holder in the crowd. You can wave your hand, Levi. But he's fresh on the scene. Maybe a month in, I've lost track now at this point planning this event and working on the website, but we're extremely proud to launch this website. I encourage you on the other side of this, go check it out. It's going to be incredible, powerful to put these things in the fingertips of our people. So now that we're here, and I've done a lot of talking already, but I'll tell you one thing, there are a couple of things about what this event's going to look like. We're all here for what is our second annual NSpire Startup Slam, the 2025 version. This is one of the largest pitch competitions in the entire Gulf South, $115,000 plus prize package. It's incredible that we can do that from right here in Hammond, America, at the beautiful, iconic, historic Columbia Theater. For these 3 finalists, it was really difficult to get to this stage. We had 27 companies initially apply to take part in this competition. From those 27, we had to narrow that down all the way to 10 companies. So we about chopped it in a third right out of the way. We brought all 10 of those companies in for a semifinal competition. They came to Southeastern, our great partners at the College of Business, helped us put together a semifinal competition. They gave a 10-minute pitch, 10-minute Q&A, just like they're going to do tonight, to a selection committee. From that 10, we narrowed it down all the way to 3. So all 3 of these companies, you're looking at 3 of the hottest startups across the entire state of Louisiana. That grueling, rigorous, multi-step process to get to this stage is all culminating live on the Columbia Theater, right in front of your eyes. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do. We brought in a professional pitch coach. They might just wing it. But what I want you to know is they're going to come up, they're going to give a 10-minute pitch, they're going to have 10 minutes of Q&A with our judging panel here. The judges are going to evaluate them on 6 core criteria, all traditional business stuff. Is their business idea, the concept, is it innovative, is it unique, is it novel, and can they actually pull it off? Is it feasible? We want to identify the team. So is the team the right people behind this business to actually execute on this business idea? The market. So how big is the market? Do they have a clear understanding of who their customer is? If they were to sell to every single one of those people in the world, how big could this business possibly get? We want to look at their traction as well. So simply put, how much progress have they made? A really interesting piece that we built into this event is as economic developers, we want to see a real commitment to our people of our place. All of this time and investment that we're going to put into you, we want that to be poured back into our people here. And so they're going to be looking for things like commitment to and potential impact for our community. It's going to be a tremendous amount of fun. We've got 3 finalists. They're all 3 going to come on stage. I need you to bring the energy, help me rile them up. We've got to get them out of that zone where they're in their mind and in their head. We've got to cheer them on. They've put a tremendous amount of work into this. And our first one up for the evening is Jonathan Frazier, Forefront 360 from right out of New Orleans. Give him a round of applause. Jonathan. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for coming and supporting all of us finalists, because we can't do it without you guys. And due to the topic, let's keep the people dealing with the fires in LA in our thoughts and prayers tonight. So I'm Jonathan Frazier with Forefront 360. About a year after Hurricane Ida, I was assessing a property, and I was walking around the property with the lady, and she was showing me all her damage, and she broke down into tears. She didn't know what to do. She felt lost. It had been a year since the hurricane. If you saw her home, you would think the hurricane happened yesterday. It was a very sad situation, and the system, unfortunately, didn't work for her. Over 20 insurance providers have left Louisiana or gone insolvent since 2022. Premiums have increased 73% and are still on the rise. For insurance providers, reinsurance has increased 60%. There's been a $30 billion increase in the cost associated with processing claims. And on top of that, 50% of the insurance workforce is currently retiring, mostly adjusters. The 2 things we're going to focus on is the 2 main topics are being underinsured and underpaid. 68% of properties are underinsured by 25% or more. So this means policyholders are already starting off on the wrong foot, and insurance providers are missing out on a lot of revenue. Over 30% of claims are underpaid by 25% or more. You throw in a hurricane, you can easily double or triple these numbers. For example, the average claim size for Hurricane Ida was about $34,000. 30 to 60% of those claims were underpaid by $9,000 to $18,000. That's a lot of money out of your pocket. So why is this? And what can we do about it? Because something's not right. The system isn't working. The system is very reactive. And when has being reactive the most efficient way to do anything? Let me introduce Forefront 360. So we provide a proactive, unbiased solution that ensures accuracy and efficiency in property insurance coverage, claims, settlements, and repairs. So what does that mean? So we act proactively. We come and we collect your property data before something ever happens. So you now have your property profile. You can take this information, you can share it with an adjuster, a broker, you can shop for insurance with it, make sure you're properly covered. Then when you have a claim, this same information, you now have a majority of a claim already done by having all this information up front. So now you're working with your adjuster through a claim. Most of their job is done. Now what they need to do is assess what is damaged, write your estimate, and then you get your settlement. We also provide, you can also use the same information. So when you go to do your repairs, it's the same information your contractors need as well when they go to do your repairs. So you use this property profile, this data, throughout the entire process, from getting insurance through getting repairs. We also guide you on how to utilize this data. We provide continuing education on making sure you understand insurance and policy, and then we're there if you need us. If you have a claim or you have questions on the insurance side of things, we can help you through the whole claim process. You can give us a call, or we can manage the entire claim for you. So what does this property profile look like? First of all, the basis of it is a 3D virtual tour of your property, which is very crucial in documenting condition, documenting the furnishings and fixtures of your property, and floor plans and detailed measurements of that property. And I guarantee the people right now in LA that are losing their properties, they would give anything to have this information right now. On top of that, we provide the detailed information for the exterior. It's all the measurements on your roof, siding, windows, doorways, openings, and more. 3D model of your home or your property. Aerial imaging to document the roof conditions and type. We also utilize some of the same technology insurance providers are using. I don't know if you know it, but there's aircraft flying over 2 to 3 times a year, taking high-resolution images of all the properties. Then they utilize AI, and they can assess these properties. They can tell you if you've got missing shingles, what type of material it is, vegetation overhang, pools, solar panels, and 130 things. We utilize the same information, but what we've noticed is that there are discrepancies in this, and people are losing insurance due to this technology and what it is detecting. So the good thing about us, we come on site, we can actually verify whether this is true or not and document that, and then you can therefore use it with your insurance company. On the right-hand side, you'll see a before and after picture. This is from Hurricane Milton. So we can see within 24 to 48 hours after a hurricane if you have damage on your property. So you may still be evacuated, but we can assess your property remotely and say, hey, yes, you have damage. You need to start the claim process. So our main customers are going to be property owners, policyholders, and insurance providers. Our base service is the virtual tour and floor plans, which can be expanded into our full profile. Our main service is the property profile. So this is everything I just showed you, all that stuff. For the average home, it costs about $600 to $800. Takes about an hour and a half on site to collect all this information. We're going to be offering subscriptions soon that'll help spread out those costs, offer some cool services throughout the year and annually. And then our consulting services start around $135 an hour. The return on the investment is incredible. So with policyholders, it's sitting around 50x, and this is due to the increased settlements, premium discounts, expedited repairs, decreased contractor fraud, and if you're a business, you're able to open your doors sooner than later because the process is so efficient. Insurance providers are sitting around 75x. Due to the accurate premiums, reduced fraud, risk, and litigation, expedited claims, reduced claim costs, and reduced workload. Remember I told you 50% of the workforce is leaving, so now they can do more with less. And when we look at our competition, we notice a lot of them, they don't have all the information that they need on your property. A majority of them are reactive, they have limited or no consumer-facing services, and the data is not versatile, and the data is restricted, which is one of the reasons we're in the mess we're in the first place. With Forefront 360, when you have this data profile, and let's say you're working with a claims consulting firm, an independent adjuster, they can utilize the property profile that we provided to make that process more efficient and quicker. Therefore, our market size is rather large. With just a 5% penetration, we're looking at a $1 billion opportunity. And it works. Our first year, we did 70,000 with no advertising, no marketing, no sales team. It was all organic through homes, schools, churches, businesses, and most recently an insurance provider. We're helping that insurance provider fight fraud. Our biggest success story has been with the schools. So one school, we helped them increase their settlement from a hailstorm from 400,000 to 1.5 million. There's about a 3,000-something% return on their investment. We also help them with critical response and safety, the same information. They're SROs, and they're working with the emergency responders, police departments, fire departments. They can train on the facility and with VR headsets. They can utilize all the floor plans and data on that property so they know where everything is located. So when they're responding to an incident, they know exactly where to go. Also with maintenance and operations on the schools, they have annual routine inspections. One of them, we cut it from 7 days to a day and a half, all from the same data. It's so versatile. And with that success, we see the next year, we see a $500,000, then the year after that, 1.5 million, and then year 3, 5 million. And how can we do that? First of all, by hopefully winning tonight, utilizing the prize money to focus on our marketing and advertising to let people know we exist. It's a new kind of service, so we need to educate people. We want to implement more AI to help streamline our processes, create a data platform utilizing some APIs and different user interfaces. So, if you're an insurance provider, you can access the information you need, homeowner, contractor, whatever. Business development, we want to continue creating partnerships with insurance providers, HOAs, real estate agencies, local startups. Speaking of that, there's one, if you haven't heard of them, RCoast, the letter R and then Coast. They're an incredible startup. If you have a coastal property, you need to talk to them or someone, a property along the shoreline. We're talking about them, about creating an awesome partnership with them. Municipalities, the backbone of every community. We can work with the municipalities because if they're not protected, then they can't take care of the community. And then economic development. If we can reduce the risk for residents and businesses to be in this region, we can keep people here and bring in more people. Our team. Team has over 50 years of insurance experience and a passion to help people because we've seen, especially my partners, they've seen so many people struggle through the insurance process, and it's really sad, and there's no reason to struggle. We should, this should be a system that whenever you start it, it should go smoothly, and there should be no stress or limited stress, and the insurance system should work the way it's supposed to work. I have 2 questions for you. Are you adequately covered? And was your last settlement correct? And I think if you saw the statistics I gave you, you could probably say no on both of these. And one more positive question, how cool would it be if we, you and I, were the reason, and the reason the insurance industry now has, is changing. We are the catalyst for change, and it doesn't have to be the way it's been. We can take charge and inspire that change and make it more efficient. Thank you. I'm Jonathan Frazier with Forefront 360.
Jonathan, thank you. Terrific presentation. Have you developed any relationships with insurance companies to build the credibility you need so that if you're trying to ensure a claim gets paid accurately, that will happen?
So we're just starting some of those. Like I said, we're talking about one, we're working with the fight fraud, so we're working through litigation, large loss department. So they're supposed to be introducing us to their underwriting and department and stuff this February. So we're starting to have those conversations, and then we just have to be able to get connected with these insurance companies to have more of those. It's not easy, so it's something we want to do. Yeah.
First, Jonathan, thank you for presenting. Congratulations. Give it up. This guy is freaking rocking and rolling. There you go. So Jonathan, my brain immediately goes to how do we scale this thing? I appreciate the go-to-market plans, but if you go to your competitive advantage slide, it seems to me you have a tremendous amount of opportunity for partnerships.
Yep.
Have you thought about a freemium model where you can actually get some scale and then leverage that scale with either insurance and or these partnerships to really knock it out of the park?
We haven't really, I guess, thought about a premium or a freemium. Not really, but I mean, we have definitely thought about and tried to figure.
Look.
So-
I'm here as a judge
Yeah.
and as a supporter of entrepreneurs. I think you're onto something. I think your secret sauce is in the profile. And so how do you take that profile and then put a lens on it that says, this is worthy? How do you magnify that profile?
Well, I mean, I think anytime we talk to somebody, and even if it's like a consultant or an IA firm, I mean, it's like it's the information everybody needs. And when they see that and they know that, and we're using industry recognized technology, and we meet certain standards on the measurements and all that stuff, is when they see it, they instantly know, that, yes, we need this. This would make our lives so much easier by having that. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if it really answered your question, but.
Thank you, Jonathan. Really impressive. I have a question just to bring it back to St. Tammany Parish. How do you see your business contributing to the growth of the St. Tammany Parish economy? And what local partnerships or collaborations are you exploring here?
So I think the first and foremost, I mean, is you got to mitigate the risk of being here, of living here, of having a business here. One of the things I didn't really have time to talk about, but something we can do with this same data is we can promote. We can create literally VR environments from this. You can walk around downtown Hammond with a VR headset, walk into the auditorium, be greeted by a virtual host that tells you about the history of it, walk up on stage to see what it feels like. I don't recommend it, but to do things like that, it's so versatile on that. But as far as whenever you can do that, you can show potential businesses if they're thinking about coming to the region, and you have all these commercial properties. You can show them all this, have a property profile, and all these properties you have available. They can see it and like, oh yeah, by the way, it's also going to help mitigate your risk of bringing your business here. So if something does happen, it'll be handled quick and efficiently, and you won't have a lot of downtime. As far as so what was the last part about?
Local partnerships or collaborations here in St. Tammany.
So as far as the local collaborations, it's really just kind of starting. So we're just kind of got connected with the St. Tammany Corp. And through them, we're working on seeing what kind of partnerships and what kind of things we can do with the local community. Because we still, we've kind of been, just quiet and building and develop things and stuff like that. So now we're opening the doors and opening the floodgates, and we're ready to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
You're solving a really important problem. Could you tell us more about your plans for a subscription model?
Yeah, so there's two different types, so commercial, residential, they're very different. But our thoughts are having where basically you pay maybe like a down payment, small down payment on that, and then you're paying throughout the year. And what you would get your entire property profile, you would get discounts on consulting, you would get an annual report, so that is showing your property. It's like an aerial assessment report of your property, different things like that throughout like every year. Or if there's been a hurricane or an event, you can get a report like a few days after that happens, so you can know if your property's still okay. Instead of you climbing on your roof, we can just tell you remotely, yeah, you're still good, or no, you have some damage. Little things like that. With commercial, it's a bit more complex because there's a lot more to commercial. But we're just trying to help spread out that cost and provide discounts on some of the things that they may want routinely or frequently throughout the year.
Thank you. Great job. Will the subscription maybe send us an alert if shingles are missing off of our roof, or if there's damage in our yard? Will it alert us and you Does it have that capability?
It doesn't yet, but so I was talking about, we're wanting to start building out kind of a database or a platform where all this information is in a database, and then things like that can be automated and implemented.
Currently, how manual is the information gathering part of your process, and how do you, what's the team's capacity, or what's the plan to scale that way?
So there's kind of two parts to it. So there's the on-site part, then of course the behind-the-scenes part. The on-site part, again, an average home, 2,500 square foot, whatever, it takes about an hour and a half. It doesn't take a lot of time. The technology nowadays is incredible, and it doesn't take much training. We hope to utilize some of this retiring workforce because they don't need to climb on roofs anymore. Maybe they just want to go out and do an easy job for an hour, 2 hours, so they can do this quickly, easy, send it in to us, and then our team can actually process it on the back end. So on the back end, it's a little bit manual at the moment, and that's, again, we're wanting to work with the AI and some stuff to try to automate that, or if we can build out that digital platform where we can just put all the data in, and then whoever needs what can access that.
Once again, great presentation. Can you go back to your pricing slide?
Which direction? There we go.
Now, you mentioned that individual homeowners were your customers and that you were pursuing partnerships with insurers and potentially assessors or other people in this insurance supply chain?
Yeah, well, I guess it's kind of a problem, is that this is kind of, an insurance provider could pay for this, a realtor could pay for this, the property owner could pay for this, it could be shared, maybe the insurance company is paying for a percentage of it, or maybe you're getting a rebate from you paying for it, or, a realtor is paying for it on a new home, so they're showing the home, and then that same data can then be transferred to that new property owner, so it gets a little tricky on that, but you can share the cost between the different types of people, or different people can purchase it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes a ton of sense. There are a few different applications here, and I gather that. I think one of the things that you're going to want to think through is, at some point when you get the cash to start building out your sales team, you're going to need to prioritize a certain channel. So who is this pain point bigger for? Is it the insurer, the homeowner, or somebody else? And who's got the pocket that's willing to pay for, more consistently, I guess would be.
Well, I mean, homeowners really need it because they're the ones that really hurt and suffer from it. It's a bit hard educating homeowners and getting them to necessarily pull the trigger on it. Nobody wants to even pay for insurance, so it's a bit of a challenge there in the education. On the commercial side, that's really kind of, I guess you say, the sweet spot, because the commercial customers, they have so much more use for it. They get so much more return out of it. But then again, when you look at insurance providers, they're also struggling. They're all leaving. Nobody wants to provide coverage here, and they're paying their fraud and litigation is growing and growing and growing, and that's expensive. It's very expensive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, man.
All right, one more time for Jonathan. All three of our founders tonight are absolutely incredible. They put so much time and effort. I think it's really showing on the stage, their presence, their knowledge on all their businesses. It's really, really incredible to see their passion as well. We got two more coming up. Next up on the docket, a couple locals from right here, just down the road, Springfield, Louisiana, Rich Zimmerman and Lane Degenhart of Cantaloupe AI. Appreciate you. All right, man. Get it.
How y'all doing? I'm Rich Zimmerman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cantaloupe AI, and man, it feels great to be home. We grew up literally just a few minutes down the street in Springfield, Louisiana, so the chance to pitch to y'all on our home turf is a dream come true for us. Again, I'm Rich Zimmerman.
And I'm Lane Degenhart, Chief Operations Officer at Cantaloupe and Springfield local. Hi, Mom.
And we're going to show you how we're building technology that lets hospitality applicants speak for themselves. So before we became two-time founders of multiple different ventures, we went on to get MBAs from schools like Tulane and also work for major Fortune 500 tech companies. We grew up right here down the road. Hospitality has always been a major important part of our lifestyles because 1 in 4 people in the Florida parishes are actually employed in hospitality, and we were certainly in that number. Before I got my start, I was actually the hiring manager of a PJ's coffee shop, a very high volume one, and Lane himself worked in the back of a major sandwich shop. So like so many people in our area, we worked in hospitality. But we also enjoyed the restaurants and the culture. My first coffee shop was PJ's. I had the Italian soda because I couldn't drink coffee. And if you ask anyone in Springfield, they'll tell you that the best catfish comes from Charlie's. Hospitality has always been our livelihood here. More than 30,000 people in the Florida parishes are employed by the space, and it brings in $2 billion in economic impact to the community. So keeping our hotels and restaurants staffed are crucial to making sure that they are stable and operating at full capacity, and the sad truth is that most of them aren't. We've worked in this space before, and we've hired in it, and we know how critically miserable and slow it can be finding and keeping talent. But we didn't understand just how bad it was until our team set out last year to interview more than 500 decision makers nationally in hospitality, and we'll tell you the sad truth of what we learned. Hospitality hiring managers are wasting days screening often unqualified applicants, and they're relying on data that's almost completely irrelevant in hospitality. Resume data. Terrible. And we are completely changing that by eliminating the barrier of a resume with Cantaloupe AI. We built the very first instant pre-screening platform designed specifically for hospitality. Cantaloupe AI cuts the human screening time by nearly 100%. We do that by instantly interviewing every single applicant using their voice. With Cantaloupe AI, decision makers get instant data to de-risk their hire, and applicants are automatically given a fair chance for every single role.
We are not working in a white-collar industry. That's why we focus on adaptability and soft skills, something that 81% of hiring managers look for when it comes to this industry. Managers like Christine and Vanessa, the head of Balcony Ballroom and Dickie Brennan Group. These are people who have been working with us from day one to show us how we can best service the hospitality industry. And since they've been using Cantaloupe, they say they could never go back. And it's easy to see why. We started right down the street talking to places like PJ's and Tommy's. From those customer conversations, we came to understand that the best way for us to break into this market is through mid to large size hospitality groups. Those are locations that receive over 5,000 plus applications per year. The reason being is because they have the most to lose. The average cost of a bad hire, that's someone who leaves within the first 90 days of being hired for these businesses, is $8,000 plus dollars. We hope to remove that number and other hidden costs.
And I'll tell you, most people sit here and say pre-screening has to be the standard in this space. There's no way this doesn't exist. Sadly, they're wrong. Right now, 2 in 3 hiring managers rely on their applicant tracking system to manually filter resumes to make the next decision. Applicant tracking systems aren't designed with precision data to tell you who's behind the resume. That's why it takes 23 hours worth of screening before a single hiring decision is made. And you know what the worst part is? The rise of these tools like Indeed Quick Apply mean that 88% of applicants don't actually meet the basic qualifications. Oftentimes, they're not people interested in the job in the first place. That's why in hospitality, the turnover rate sits at over 80%, meaning that truck drivers, forest workers, and construction workers quit less frequently than hospitality employees. Cantaloupe AI's pre-screening is designed to stop that. Here's how it works. So the applicant finds their job however they do now. We don't touch Indeed and LinkedIn. That's not how we work. When they apply on these platforms, every applicant gets an instant text message inviting them to start their first round interview through Cantaloupe. Then applicants get ranked in order from most compatible to least compatible based on their answers, and every hiring manager gets an instant insight into who's behind the application in real time. Cantaloupe AI works and is mostly powered by our absolutely exciting conversational tool, Clio. She's the very first fully adaptable and conversational AI tool designed to handle full-length conversations and respond intelligently in hospitality. An applicant clicks the link and quite literally talks their way through their first-round interview, getting intelligent responses by Clio. Clio's picking up on things like confidence, extroversion, She's also picking up on adaptability, personality, hard and soft skills. Then Cantaloupe AI is built on thousands of data points behind the resume. We're deciding what the business's hiring standards are and actually pulling their historical turnover data. When the person's finished with the interview, we generate a compatibility score that says two things. One, how great is this person as a fit for my role at my location? And two, how likely are they to quit in the first 90 days? Cantaloupe AI makes money through a tiered subscription model where the value is in the interview and the data that comes with it. Our smallest starts at $5,000 annually, and that's the ones that a lot of businesses and ecosystems like Hammond depend on for their data. But we easily scale to surpass over $50,000 annually with enterprise customers, the first in which we just landed all across the seas in Europe. But the majority of our ICP, the Vanessas of the world, are in the $15,000 to $25,000 category.
Now, we've talked a lot about the business side of things, but there's another that we haven't mentioned yet, and that's the workforce, the people behind hospitality. Whenever an individual is hired for a position in hospitality, if they stay with the organization for over a year, they have a 41% chance to report above average wages. Now, in somewhere like river parishes, Florida parishes, that is a huge opportunity to not only find a really interesting career at your first job, but also be able to provide for those around you.
Cantaloupe AI is obsessed with becoming the data leader for hospitality employment application information. Ultimately, we'll do this by transitioning into an applicant tracking system. And do not be scared. No applicant tracking system has more than 20% of the current revenue share. But we enter that market by becoming the first pre-screener in hospitality, an industry that hasn't welcomed that type of technology in the past because businesses haven't built for it. There are 2,500 hospitality groups in our ICP, like Dickey Brennan Group in this country, and they alone are responsible for over $451 million in revenue potential. But hospitality tech is growing at 10 to 15% annually, leaving us with a $13.4 billion market that Silicon Valley hasn't cared to touch. Most hospitality applicants aren't comfortable getting on screen, taking a lengthy assessment, and talking to a camera. So we built Cantaloupe AI around a tool that people are actually willing to use with data that's specifically designed for hospitality. This means we have access to first principle data that tools like ChatGPT don't have, such as the turnover rate historically for every PJ's location we serve and every restaurant and Dickey Brennan groups. It enables us to understand the difference between a sous chef at Palace Cafe and the difference between a sous chef down the street at Tableau. We're focusing on an 8% weekly growth rate. Turnover is extremely excessive in hospitality, and we're doing this by targeting higher value groups at higher value tiers. In our HubSpot right now is over $2.4 million in revenue potential, and we're going after them very aggressively. Our B2B sales are led by Seth Bloom, the former marketing director of a $500 million exited company, which you know as LevelSet. We're already members of over 24 hospitality and Chamber of Commerce associations, like the Louisiana Restaurant Association and St. Bernard Parish Chamber of Commerce. That's how we find the Vanessas and Christines of the world, who almost always make their decisions based on referrals. Since Halloween, we've sent more than 3,000 plus successful interviews helping hospitality businesses stabilize their workforce. We've done that across 28 active paid pilot partner locations, including major names like Dickey Brennan's. All of them are under LOI for more than $89,000 in revenue potential. We've got $125,000 committed to this round and a lot of interviews. We're raising $1 million to expand Cantaloupe aggressively, pay ourselves for the first time. We have still never taken a salary, and build Clio into the truly first of its kind, fully intelligent model to serve hospitality hiring manager needs.
Winning tonight in Hammond allows us to service those companies that are waiting for us. At the end of the day, we're focused on workforces here in Louisiana. We love hospitality. We were raised by hospitality, and this is our opportunity to give back to that culture that helped make us who we were.
It's crazy to be here. We grew up swinging on the swing sets of Kate Square Park down the street and growing up born and raised in Springfield, Louisiana. The world knows Louisiana for our food, but with Cantaloupe AI and the tech that we're building in the river parishes, soon they'll know us for our tech too. I'm Rich Zimmerman.
And I'm Lane Degenhardt.
And we're Cantaloupe AI.
Terrific presentation, thank you, very enthusiastic. Dickey Brennan, you mentioned a bunch, you mentioned PJs. Have they seen improvement in turnover as a result of this service that you provide in the early rounds of hiring people?
Yeah, so we track, thank you, we track every aspect of the interaction with the tool. Just about every Friday we meet with Christine Koenig. She oversees all hiring positions for Dickey Brennan Group. They're our largest pilot partner. And she can tell you, as she tells Lane, who handles with it, it has been a monumental impact in just figuring out who's actually interested in the position. So the ironic part here is we've reduced the number of applicants. That might sound bad at first, right? Like I'm getting less applicants. But the applicants that we provide are pre-screened and already taking the position seriously. That means they're in geographic proximity. That means they meet the basic qualifications. And they also meet the personality archetype associated with the role. We cannot definitively say the results of the turnover yet because we are in a 3-month pilot that ends in March. But I can tell you from looking at the data we have collected, we will release a case study that will be very hard to refute.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi, thank you so much for your presentation. I come from hospitality as well, so very excited to see the AI world turn in here. I wanted to ask, how does your AI model handle bias and ensure fairness in its outcomes?
It's a fantastic question. So our Chief Technical Officer, Josh Anderson, who's here, has dedicated an enormous amount of time towards our bias reduction tool. We fundamentally believe that a resume is a barrier to hiring. So 61% of people employed in hospitality are members of minority groups. And you'd be shocked at just the impact that name itself plays at creating sometimes an unaware bias situation. So we attack bias from a number of different angles. And the first in which is admitting what we don't know. We partner with members of Tulane University's Department of DEI for the business school that have helped us tremendously understand biases we aren't aware of and also put that back into a lot of machine learning algorithms. One thing is that candidates speak in their authentic voice, and the voice AI that we developed can take on over 100 languages. That's a really impactful and powerful tool, considering 37% of the workforce is actually English as a second language. The second thing is things like name reduction. So Cantaloupe AI has no idea what your name is. We don't make assumptions based on your zip code and based on your region, for example. We only know how far you are from the place of work, and that's it. These are things, algorithmic scoring that's able to mitigate biases that probably 99% of humans have, whether they're cognitive or not cognitive of, in the hiring decision. We have a long way to go, but we believe that we actually break down the barriers of a resume for a lot of applicants in hospitality.
Yeah, and I'd like to go even a step further with that and talk about a point that he did not bring up, which is soft skills and adaptability. As I mentioned, this is not your typical HR pre-screening tool. We are looking into an individual's journey in hospitality. I've got some of my closest friends who graduated from the Culinary Institute right there in Baton Rouge, and they will be the first to tell you that someone who has gone through school, who has got a degree in business or any other field, is not necessarily going to make the best employee in their restaurant. It's all about cultural fit. Right. So if you have a resume across your desk and you're looking through them and you say, oh man, this guy has just been all throughout and is thoroughly educated, of course he'll be able to come in and do a stellar job. That's not always the case. So we also hope to increase the opportunity for those who might be entering the workforce directly through hospitality, right, even if their journey to get there looked a little different.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm jacked up. I love what you're saying. If you know my company, you know I'm fired up because you're an extension of what we do. I've spent tons of times with ATS and pre-screen companies. Talk to me about 3 things. APIs, both upstream and downstream. Second, roadmap. Third, you got this money, what are you going to do with it?
Yep.
So take APIs upstream, downstream, because I think it's important to understand connectivity and where you are in that journey. And then I know from a tech standpoint, there has to be a roadmap.
That's a fantastic question. I wish Josh was up here for it, but luckily he's trained me enough to be able to stand alone. So the first thing is today we are not an applicant tracking system. That would take on a lot of fight that we're not ready for yet. We're a pre-screening service, and because no applicant tracking system really specializes in screening, we're able to integrate to over 45 of them. We use a small, young, scrappy startup out of Austin that we actually met while we were in the Antler Accelerator program that is building first principle APIs for things like job data, applicant pools, and postings. So pretty much every major applicant tracking system and HRIS system, which are oftentimes separate, with exception to Paylocity, which I'll get to in a second, we work with. So we're able to integrate and push and pull data today. Ultimately, when we transition into becoming an applicant tracking system, the most important APIs are responsible for us being able to post listings. Because again, we don't touch discovery. We're not looking to take on the marketplace role. That's not a business model we're pursuing. But we have to be able to communicate with platforms like Indeed, like LinkedIn, in New Orleans, like WorkNola, and beyond. So those are things that are really important. On the voice analysis process of it, we're a very early user of a tool that was backed by Y Combinator called VAPI AI. And VAPI is by far the biggest advancement in voice analysis we have ever seen. A year ago, I promise you we could not do this. When you're communicating with Clio, you would not know that Clio is an AI. It's actually shocking. So we're able to push and pull data from VAPI back to Cantaloupe to transcribe intelligent responses.
So look, smart stuff. Audience got smoke coming out of their ears, and I love it, and I'm with you. But talk to me about requisition. So we have a position, and then how do we actually engage Cantaloupe? Where's that connection? Just help me through that journey.
So here's the process, and it's a super simple process. The applicant will post their listing wherever they do currently. Typically that's Indeed, typically that's LinkedIn. Yep. Cantaloupe AI has an API call to that posting, and we'll pull the information from the data.
So I subscribe to you.
Yes.
I then plug in, i.e., and that's the upstream
Mm-hmm.
post. Okay?
Yes.
And then let's say we want to then now push that person into an interview process.
Sure.
Downstream, have we gotten there yet?
So here's how that works. So all we take from the applicant tracking system on top of the historical data is their contact information and the job description. So then Cantaloupe actually asks them questions very specific to that role, and that's the interview. So that's what we pull from the applicant tracking system. When they're finished and the answer is done, the hiring manager actually uses Cantaloupe to make the decision. So the data is there. That's an example of something that's really different. We're not able to push or pull data like that for applicant tracking systems because they don't collect it, which makes us a first principle data collector.
Yeah, and as you asked, the money will go towards increasing this tech capacity.
Right.
The people that we are working with on the APIs have been incredible. The fastest turnover we've had came from Workday, where we said, look, you don't have it up. How long is this going to take? 2 days later, it was fully running.
Right.
We have had 0 issues with it so far. We want to become an ATS system.
Yeah.
That is something we were very adamant about, because we've also looked into those ATS systems, and the filtering capacity is just non-existent.
Right.
Some of them are filled with so many bugs that it just becomes unusable if you're doing it in the kind of numbers that these mid to large size hospitality groups are doing it in.
Right.
So if we can continue development and add on these extra features as suites, we will then be able to service on a whole new scale.
And I'll tell you the last part of the answer is what we're doing with the money. We're standing alone. We will not live and die by other people's products. So in the next 6 months, we will have our own voice analysis capabilities that Josh and the tech team are working on very tirelessly. So these are front and back end developers. These are, particularly Robert Ismo, our in-house machine learning expert. Those are costly tools. The cost to conduct an interview for us right now is less than 20 cents, but that's 20 cents too high for us. So in the next 6 months, building that in-house infrastructure with our small team, that's a super important part for that money.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I think this is incredible. I do have PJs, but I haven't heard of you guys yet. I think y'all are probably in the early stages with them. I think it's an invaluable tool if it, if it works as you say. But I want to ask you a question, and maybe you've answered this and I missed it. Who makes up the questions or the interview for the applicant? I know I interview people for us in a very unique way. Mm-hmm. And would I be able to give you my questions to put on that form?
You can. That's a fantastic question.
It is. Thank you.
So you have a choice, and we give a lot of flexibility. You can completely autopilot the process, and Cantaloupe's AI will actually predict the questions because we build something called ideal archetypes. So we actually develop an archetype for every role at every location. 100% unique for everyone. That's one, like the sous chef for this exact example. This is a back-of-house sous chef position for Palace Cafe. We know historically the types of people they hired. We know historically the types of questions they've asked because we have that data from the HRIS and applicant tracking system. So we can auto-generate very intelligent questions, and Clio can respond. But we don't like that. We think that humans are extremely integral in that process, and Christine Bondio from Dickie Brennan always loves to ask, what's your favorite New Orleans cocktail? Do you know what a Sazerac is? Stuff like that. We think the humans should absolutely participate in the process.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I love to know what they were in high school. What clubs were they in? Were they into sports? That tells me a little bit more about their stick-to-itiveness.
I was at your coffee shop in high school looking at that sign, that always never forget sign, that is still in there because I checked it today, and I want to talk about that in the prize package.
No, and
I think that's a wrap.
That's
y'all.
great.
Thank y'all so much for having
Thank
us
y'all.
today. We
Genuinely.
appreciated you.
All of y'all.
I'm going to you.
Thank you. All right. Aren't they just awesome? The duo, incredible group from Springfield, right here, little town, beautiful country, and an incredible technology startup from right here in our backyard. We got one left, and you're going to notice a really cool accent on this one, hailing all the way from Kazakhstan and now calling North Louisiana home. I'm going to introduce you to Onega Ulanova of QMS to Go. Give her a round of applause for me. Good luck.
Thanks. When you are an owner of a manufacturing company that produces parts for regulated industries, you rely on your quality manager to maintain critical quality certification for your business. But if your certificate gets suspended, your business stops. You can lose millions, key customers, and critical partnerships. And I have seen this happen myself and decided to do something about it. Hello, I am Onega Ulanova, and this is a story of how we are transforming quality management. Once upon a time, I was hired as a quality manager to help a manufacturer regain their certification. With a team of new hires and multiple consultants, we got it done. But it was stressful and came at a high cost. After that, I became a quality auditor and got a broader perspective on quality management. I saw businesses from startups to Fortune 500 companies suffer to maintain compliance, often spending tons of time and money on busy work. Quality management system, or QMS, is something like a playbook to keep quality consistent, essential for regulated industries such as oil and gas, defense, and healthcare. So saints are not the only one who need a playbook. QMS brings structure, organization, and transparency, but it's also time-consuming and very challenging to maintain. For example, quality managers spend up to 65% of their time, or $80,000 a year, on paperwork, instead of addressing real challenges. And we heard repeatedly from over 200 quality managers we surveyed. Many businesses turn to consultants as a solution, right? But their services come with a high price tag and long wait time. It could cost anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000 for initial quality management system development, and from $30,000 to $100,000 for annual maintenance. And to make a matter worse, quality management standards are updated every 3 to 5 years, adding additional costs and complexities. QMS to Go reduces the reliance on these costly consultants, empowering businesses to develop and manage their own quality management system. With our platform, businesses can save up to $230,000 in the first year of implementation, and up to $130,000 in annual maintenance. But it's not just about money. QMS to Go brings immediate control to businesses, reducing wait time from months to minutes. Since launching out our beta, QMS to Go has delivered measurable savings and efficiencies. A manufacturer in Kazakhstan, my home country, reduced their audit response time from 14 days to 2, removing the need for consultant and saving $5,000. A machine shop in Texas captured knowledge of 20 employees in under a week, Normally, it would take up to 6 months, saving $4,000 as a bonus. A wealth manufacturer in Louisiana saves 6 hours every week on training materials, totaling roughly $15,000 of annual savings. These companies save time and money, proving the power of QMS to go. So how it works? QMS to go provides businesses with powerful tools. Instant guidance, expert advice whenever you need it, smart analysis, fix and spot non-compliance issues with no delays, and document magic, create procedures, flow charts, and training materials in minutes. QMS to go not just brings savings, it changed the way how quality managers work. By freeing their time from busy work to focus on what truly delivers business results. A market for QMS to go is huge. There are globally 1.5 million companies already certified and growing at 10.3% rate, creating $24 billion annual market. QMS to go offers solutions for everyone, whether you are required a partial compliance, need to develop a brand new system, or simply maintain your existing system. We got you covered. QMS to go isn't just a tool. It's a smart daily copilot for quality managers. Unlike traditional QMS software, which focus on document storage and management, we act as intelligent assistant to help quality managers manage their compliance and navigate their processes. While tools like ChatGPT can help you with some general information, they lack specific knowledge needed to meet stringent requirements. Our initial focus is in oil and gas industry and defense contractors. We are planning to reach them utilizing targeted digital campaigns, utilizing LinkedIn and other industry-specific platforms, strategic partnerships with contractors and certification bodies, and direct sales. In addition to myself, bringing over a decade of quality management experience, in my team I have product developers, AI specialists, industry experts, and together we combine innovation, technical expertise, and industry insights. In addition to our sweat and blood equity, we already invested $200,000 of our money. Others committed as well. $150,000 received from our strategic partner, $50,000 received as a pitch award, and $250,000 secured as a contract with DoD. Currently, we are raising $1.5 million to scale our solution. North Shore, Louisiana is a great place for my business development team. It combines small-town charm with big opportunities, and its strong sense of community make it a perfect place for us to grow. With potential partners like BIS and local community providing us with a talent pipeline, we will create growth and innovation right here. QMS to go and our show has what it takes to lead the future of quality management. Thank you.
Onyeka, thank you for that. Very enlightening. So you are helping companies solve a quality management system issue, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know how many people here have spent time in a manufacturing facility or floor. You threw out something like ISO 9000 as a standard, right?
Correct. So there are multiple standards for oil and gas industries, such as API, developed by American Petroleum Institute, ISO 9001 for general manufacturing and even service providers, AS 9100 for defense contractors, plus Department of Defense has their own set of regulations. So yes, we follow strict requirements of specific standards for oil and gas and defense, plus we educate our model on broad quality management specific knowledge.
And the goal of those standards is for safety, efficiency?
No, so definitely. They create a framework on how you should manage your business, focusing on meeting customer expectations and compliance, and continuously improve what you do. Meaning that they set of things you need to do, like a checklist to simplify things, right? Which you need to have in order to get a certificate, which needed to do business with big guys. So if you will not have all the things in the checklist, nobody will give you a certificate. If you will not have that certificate, you never get a big contract with larger companies within oil and gas, defense, and other markets.
And your platform helps your customers generate a checklist unique to their business to meet these compliance?
Not only, it does help to create compliant procedures, it does help to create compliant records and templates, but it also helps quality managers and others in daily operations, doing things what is written in that checklist. So it's not just one-time done deal. It's ongoing daily usage of my tool, as well as helping those quality managers with their daily operations.
My last multi-step question here.
Go.
On the daily side, are your quality managers typing notes into QMS to go, or is it connected to cameras? Like, how does that work?
They talk, they take pictures, ask questions. So today, quality managers types, again, 65%, like over half of a year, types things. Now he can ask questions from my platform. Platform will give answer without typing, can talk to it, and it will produce required procedures, records, template, audit plans, you name it. So we are removing this typing thing, because this typing thing is, I'm sorry, but in most cases, it's waste of their life.
Thank you.
Sure.
Terrific, thank you. So on the question of compliance and the DoD, we know that regulations change every day, and certainly with every administration. How does your system keep up with the changes to ensure that the quality is being measured properly?
It's an amazing question. So we are touching the DoD side, their requirements for quality management systems. They unfortunately didn't pay too much attention. So that standard within DoD haven't been changed for the last 20 years. So, but fortunately for me and for everyone who is living in the States, because they want to increase industrial base, right? Everybody wants to bring manufacturing back. They started to think about it, and a couple of months ago, Naval Graduate School in California, it's a major institution within DoD, released a published graduate's PhD report stating the importance to keep up. You know, funny thing, Department of Defense in the America set a framework for all the quality management systems in the world. It was a foundational work, and ISO and other took it as an example, but now it's lagging behind. But I bet they will win and lead. So, any other questions? Please, I want to talk. I don't like to do speeches, but I like talking.
So you leave here tomorrow, you wake up, and you go after a customer in South Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Define that customer and maybe the challenge you will solve.
So if I will have time tomorrow, and tomorrow will be not Saturday, I will go to Tech Crane. It's the first company I ever audited in Louisiana. These guys may be like 15 away from here, and they produce one of the largest pedestrian cranes. And as soon as I will walk in and Even if he would not know me, I will tell him, this is a solution, and he will tell that I need it. Because everybody knows, so for business owners, quality management system is like necessarily evil. They don't necessarily understand the value, but they need to have it in order to be in business. And if I will say that you will do it better, faster, and cheaper, he will be sold. And when I will be talking with quality manager, saying that now you will have more time, you will not be behind the paperwork, they will be sold as well. So it's just win-win-win for all. As I mentioned, we launched a digital marketing campaign, and today Konstantin was with me. We saw a message where, like it's called outreach. It's AI-powered outreach for my target audience because I know who they are. And the gentleman wrote me like a poem saying that I need it, I dreamed about it. Tell me what I need to do in order to use your product and build it better. This is a pain for people out there, and they want it to grow and accept it, adapt it.
Great presentation, but I'll admit I'm out of my depth with these industry standards. But could you tell us more about your plan to scale and grow?
Definitely. So as I mentioned, we are starting with oil and gas, and we already started, right? Because we have beta testers who converted to paying customers. We have 6,000 companies in one database because API published such database, and we go after them. So it's cold call, it's digital outreach, it's some of my personal connections. We just know who they are, we know their pain, and we need to scale. My product is not perfect by no means. We still need to do work, but at the same time, it's usable, it brings results, it's a beginning. So to answer your question, we know who they are, we have their emails, websites, and such, and we are just scaling our campaign marketing.
That's a great answer. So tell me more about then your product roadmap and how you plan to iterate.
Definitely. So now we started sales since January 1st. We will leave it as is, which is very similar to ChatGPT, but with implemented features, which ChatGPT doesn't have. Currently, we are doing customer discovery workshops, let's put it this way, to see what else we can automate and building UI for that. As soon as that will be done, we will deploy it in the production. So I know that there are things we need to change. AI is growing, it's running fast. I need to be faster. That's why we are doing proactively right now of what we will be building within the next 6 months.
So based on also your partners and potential client list too, are you a candidate for non-dilutive funds by way of like SBIR or STTR funding?
We want two SBIRs.
Oh, you've won two?
Yes, with Department of Defense. So as you saw here, 250,000, it's from SBIRs.
Okay. So. Exactly in front of that. Great job.
Yes. I hope LAG will assist me with my cashback. So, yeah. And
so what's your runway for the $1.5 million?
Love this question. It will give me maybe a year and a half. Goal to secure 52 recurring customers. So I need to turn this money into more money, get more data from users and how they behave, and then go for Series A. This business is being built to be sold. So I would say it will be 5-7 years of journey, as I mentioned, blood and sweat. We are ready, we will do it. But yeah, it will give me more validation and tractions to go and talk with big guys when it comes to PI and VC.
Who is a likely acquirer?
Oracle, maybe. Maybe .com from the quality management space. It will be larger ERP systems who are already operating in a space for oil and gas, DOT, or general manufacturing. Let me tell one thing, but maybe, we don't know what will be within the next 3 years. And there are thoughts that ERP system will die. just because agents, AI agents like ours, will replace it. Who has experience with ERP? Just raise your hand, right? Okay, cool. How many of you use 100% of those features you are paying? 0, right? You pay for maybe 10 to 15% of features, right? The most, maybe 30. So that should go away. It's inefficiency. Maybe we will replace these ERP systems when agents like mine and others will just talk to each other. Again, we are looking for a future which is developing every single second. AI is uncharted territory, but I want to lead it in quality management space. Well done. Thank you. Yours.
All right, everybody. We have finished all 3 of our pitches. Give us one last round of applause for all 3 of the finalists tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's thank the judges as well for taking the time to come out and ask incredibly challenging questions. You know, it's hard for a lot of the times when this is the first time you've seen a company to ask those really, really intentional questions that pulls incredible information out of each of them. I'm very glad that I don't have their job right now to go and make a selection out of those top 3 companies that I know all 3 of them absolutely nailed the pitches, absolutely nailed the presence, all the audience engagement. It's just so cool to see our community come together like this to support 3 local startups, all of them Louisiana-based, from sprinkled all across the state, all wanting to come and grow here together with our community. The only way that we can truly support them and really prop them up and take them to the next level is by having people like you continue to show up and help them in every single way. This is what makes this place special, and I'm incredibly proud to see how many people are in this audience today. So thank you for coming out. We've got our 3 pitches done. Everyone, you can take a moment. Our judges are going to go to their deliberation room. They're going to take about 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it takes for them to decide on a winner. They're going to pick one of these 3 companies. They're going to decide on a winner. That company is going to get a $40,000 check. You don't want to miss the celebration that's going to happen on this stage when that announcement. I'm a little scared, actually. But it's going to be a ton of fun. At this point, you can head back into the lobby if you like, stretch your legs, take a bio break, grab another drink while you're out there, go and talk, reminisce on the company. Charles, our interview host, is probably going to be bebopping around. He's going to find you. He's going to ask you who you think could have won, who should win, if you had an idea what you would have pitched today. So please, enjoy some more networking and mingling. We'll rally you back in here in about 15 minutes, and we'll announce our winner.
All right, who's ready to know who the winner is?
Yeah.
Well, seriously, thank you all again for making tonight so special and being here to listen to these pitch competitions and taking part in really a showcase where the power of an idea truly took center stage tonight. We want to say thank you again to the judges for their time and consideration of these pitches. And thank you. Absolutely. Ms. Ginger?
Tonight's event illustrates the power of regional partnerships and the importance of cultivating an entrepreneurial ecosystem. Entrepreneurship directly impacts talent retention, fosters talent attraction, supports business formation, exemplifies business resilience and continuity, and reinforces the importance of place and community. And we're just getting started. We want you to continue to engage in our entrepreneur ecosystem and support business formation and scale across our region. We are heavily relying on your support. We want to, again, thank tonight's event sponsors, of which this event would not be possible without their generous contributions and support, starting with Startup North Shore Economic Development Partners, St. Tammany Corporation, Tangipahoa Economic Development Foundation, and my board personally, I would like to thank them, Washington Parish Economic Development Foundation, and a special thank you to our funding partners, anchor partner and presenting sponsor Chevron, Clico Power, Tangipahoa Economic Development Foundation, North Shore Community Foundation, Hancock Whitney, North Shore Media Group, and of course, our grand prize sponsor, Capital One. Again, thank you to
Yes, thank you.
Again, we want to thank our event partners, Southeastern Louisiana University, Columbia Theater for the Performing Arts, and to our programming partner, the Idea Village. A special thanks goes out tonight to Dr. William Wainwright and Dr. Lopez, Dean of the College of Business at Southeastern Louisiana University. And one more time, a shout out for the Columbia Theater and their incredible and talented team and staff. We want to recognize our in-kind service sponsors, the Bernard Group, 90 by 3 LLC, Perk Social, Palette North Shore, the Arena Collective, Office Ops, Martin Business Solution LLC, JAJ Consults, B2B CFO, MCDS LLC, Mealy Printing, Bienville Consulting Group, St. Tammany Chamber of Commerce, and our own Tangipahoa Chamber of Commerce. And finally, our finalist pitch coach, Abby Kish Consulting. Let's give a round of applause to all of them. It truly was a group effort, and we are very grateful. Chris?
Thank you, Ginger. And
About-
as we get
it's
closer
about
to
time.
revealing the winner, we want to real quickly say thank you for the team to help put this together, and Genzo and the team at the St. Tammany Corporation. So if you're a member of the team tonight, the production team, Keith Esperdron down here, he's our Manager of Economic Development, Ashley Llewellyn, our Vice President. Ashley, you may be backstage. Kate Moore, Kyle Buckley, Timothy Billiot, Joey, yes, Joey, he's new one in the back, Southeastern. He's our new fellow from Southeastern, Joey Cooney. And then we also had Commissioner Elder Brown that was a part of our board. I don't know if he and his wife, Mary Beth, are still here. And of course, Dr. Wainwright was my chair of this board this year, rotating out. And of course, his lovely family, Ella and Misty. Thank you all very much. At this time, let's bring out the three finalists. Columbia Cantaloupe AI, Forefront 260, and QMS 2S to go. Great job tonight. Wonderful getting ready to step up and claim over $115,000 in combined prize package. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the honors goes to Ginger Canzalosi. Miss Ginger.
I really do have the best job. All night, I have the best job. So thank you, Chris, for letting me do this. Okay. And the winner is Cantaloupe AI. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
We're so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chenzo.
Congratulations, man.
Means a lot to be home.
Hold on.
Pictures, so if you're a part of this family, stick around. We're going to have lots of pictures to come. Yes, sir. How do you want us?
You can act like you like
Okay,
me.
absolutely, man. I got you.
Where did you go? He went